everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for Flosstube 100 and something, 105, 7, 8, 9, I don't know. You'll know it's in the title. And thanks for joining me today in my corner. It's been a while, like 6 weeks. It's been about 6 weeks. And this video, it's going to be a shit show. It is unedited. I'm not editing it at all. I am like taking it from my computer, from my phone to my computer, plopping on a beginning and an end and posting it, because that has really been my sticking point. That's why it's been 6 weeks, because I have time to record videos, but I just don't have time to edit them right now. So this is just how it's going to be. And I a lot and I pause a lot and I'm awkward and my chair is really squeaky and there's going to be bags rustling. So this is going to be long, I think. It's going to be a WIP parade, although I do have a finished object. It's going to be, I'm going to talk about an amazing happy mailbox that I got. And then I'm going to talk about some of the things I got from my mom and grandmother when I went to visit in July. It is September 3rd. I want to say it's Sunday, September 3rd. It's in the evening. And yeah, I have sort of stuff all around me that I can't wait to show you. But before we get to that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures, and welcome back to my, people who've been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It's been great to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Hi, remember, this is what I say. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me in 2 places. And I genuinely mean that. I do love seeing what you all are doing. And I haven't been watching Flosstube very much either. And I just started watching Flosstube again and catching up with everybody. So, I don't know, I've been very busy. Anyway, besides that, find me on Instagram. Dr_Christy is my main account. And they're all listed in the description box below. I'm not editing, so they're all in the description box below. Dr_Christy is my main Instagram account. And then I also have the Spoolery, which is my homage to vintage wooden spools and vintage sewing. But I haven't posted there in a while. And then also I have been really bad about it. Sorry, Christy. Sorry, Christy and Dara. I also am a mod on the Stitchers Collective Instagram account, and I'm feeling back. I'm feeling like I'll start posting on that again too. It's just been a lot. I don't want to do a lot of life update. School started. I went to my sister's bachelorette weekend. That was sort of 4 days, and then I got sick. If I'm clearing my throat, it's because I'm a little, sick. It wasn't COVID. It was just, sick. And classes are going well. I'm really happy with them. My students are great. I'm feeling really good. This weekend's my anniversary weekend. We bought a couch. That was our gift to ourselves. Couch and Chinese food, which I love me some Chinese food. And then we had DQ, Dairy Queen, for dessert last night. I mean, like, pretty awesome anniversary to me. I've also been designing stuff. So I have my 2024 temperature library is designed. I'm just letting it settle and I'll go back to it tomorrow. And so that should be released. I might do a release video this week, actually. It's pretty much ready to go. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to start working on my second one, which may be a bit ambitious. So I'll have to see what I come up with. But yeah, we'll see. That'll be, if I come up with something, hopefully it'll be by October 1st. So that's the plan for that. And then I've also been designing some small patterns. I'm doing a small series next year, a monthly series. And yeah. So I don't know how much I can talk about it, because it involves Just Cross Stitch Magazine for one part of it. But anyway, I have a design in Just Cross Stitch Magazine next April, May, which is very exciting for me. And that will be part of a year-long series. So I designed January and February yesterday. And then I also designed September's pattern for my patrons on Patreon, which is going to be a biscornu. So I'm a designing machine, my friends. I'm really excited. AI has nothing on me. ChatGPT can't design like me. Midjourney, you got nothing on me. So humans are still better than machines. Anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to lately. I have not been doing a lot of stitching. I've been focusing on one project because it's easy and I don't have to think about it, but I'm feeling more adventurous and I have to start a new thing. Oh, and I have a finish. Goodness. Let me just get into the stitching. So let me talk about my finish first that I threw on the floor, and I'm not editing this out. So some of you might know, I live in a small city in Mississippi, very small city in Mississippi. Anywhere else it would be considered a small town, but Mississippi is Mississippi, and so it's a city. We are the county seat. And we have an arts council, and the arts council has a gallery and a store, and they do fundraising, and they do great things for kids, and they do great things for adults. And I am on the board now. I started on the board in June. I started on the board in June, so you would have heard that already. And so as part of a fundraiser, I did a cross stitch of a sticker that they give out these stickers, and you kind of like put them around town, Art in Action, Columbus Arts Council. And so I did a cross stitch version of that. And this is going to be finished in this frame that I'm going to paint it black. And this is just a matte, so it comes out. So this is actually the perfect size because it's such a weird shape. But because it has this matte, it's like the right shape. I'm so excited. So I'm going to paint this black, mount this, and then I'm going to make some kits for the Arts Council and also print out some patterns. So that is really exciting. And I got some 14 count Aida and some floss from Michael's today. They're having Labor Day sales. You can get a 40% off coupon for one item and then 20% off coupon for all non-clearance stuff at Michael's. Those of you have a Michael's, and there's a lot of stuff on clearance. So that's what I got. So I got Aida and the floss, and then the Arts Council got a bunch of stuff donated that came in these sort of plastic bags. So we emptied out all the plastic bags, and I saved them. And so I'm going to use these plastic bags if I ever do for these kits, and if I ever do other kits as well. So I'm like reusing them, which makes me feel really good too, instead of it just getting thrown away. So that is my finished object, all right, is the Art in Action for the Columbus Arts Council. And I just cut my hair today. Sorry, off topic. I cut my own hair, and I just cut it today, and I'm liking how floofy it is. Did a good job. So let's talk about the main project I've been working on. It's in a bag. Let me go get it. I'm still here. I'm just getting the bag. Here it is. It's in this tiny little bag. It's a tiny little thing. And you will have seen this, but I have been working on my Patreon pattern from May, maybe? April? May. I think it was May. And so this is my Jester. This is my Jester. He is not available anymore, but I love him. And I just kind of want to get him finished. And all this white part in here should be stitched white, and all this empty spaces in here should be stitched white. I'm not stitching it. I'm not stitching it in white. I think it looks great without it, but it's charted with white. So I really love him. It says that I'm about 60% done, but I think I have about like 2,200 stitches left, but 850 of those stitches are white. So I have, I don't know, 1,200, 1,300 stitches left. And I have my needle stuck in there. Sorry, not sorry. But I love him. I think he's adorable. And all my Patreon patterns I will be releasing next year. If you're interested in supporting me and my work, my Patreon is both stitching and history. So we're kind of in the middle of a series about witchcraft in Europe, and so there are, I think, 7 or 8 different like blog posts. And then this past week I posted one with an entire document that's like 250 pages. You don't have to read the whole thing. I tell you where to look to, like, I reference it in the blog, but it's called the Malleus Maleficarum. And that is the Hammer of Witches. It's sort of like the witch hunter's guide that was written in the 16th century. Yes, no, 15th century, like the 1480s. 15th century, that is really the basis for all these witch hunts later. And it's really cool because it talks about like the things that witches do, like how to find a witch, but then it also goes meticulously through the legal aspects of a witch trial. So if you're interested in witch trials at all, you can check out my Patreon, and that's linked down below. And you'll have access to all of those. And I expect there to be maybe three more entries in the next probably 2 months. So that's that. And this is my current WIP. Everything else is a WIP in name only. I haven't stitched on it in months. So this bag holds my medieval marginalia patterns. So I have been, oh, and this too, good. I'll get to it in a second. So, and other things. I mean, I have lots of things in here, apparently. So this is just a bag full of stuff, and it has my light in it. This is basically what I take when I go stitch in the world. And I have an idea for a project, an out in the world project bag design that I'm really excited about, but I haven't had the chance to make it yet. So for now, this is what I have. There's more in here than I thought. So first of all, in my raw dinosaur cross stitch bag, I have my Elephantine by Roz Clark Craft. And I will link her down below. I just have a little bit, and I don't have a picture to show you because I usually edit those in, but I'm not editing. It's basically just silly medieval elephants. This is my one silly medieval elephant. It's so cute. It's so cute. And this is stitched on I think it's like a 20 count Aida in sort of a creamy yellow. This was, I don't know what the color is. It's color and cotton, because I got a bunch of those color and cotton grab bags. And so this is just a 20 count color and cotton grab bag. I need to pick this up again. I really like this one. I do like these elephants. And Roz does great medieval stuff. Roz does great medieval stuff. So there's that. And then I have my Nuns Harvesting Phalluses, which for now is just the base of a tree. And this is on a 36 count overcast from Cedar River Linen and Design. So that's where that is. And I might see if this is big enough for my next medieval marginalia. I don't think it is. I have so I've designed my third medieval marginalia. The first one is Nuns Harvesting Phalluses. The second one is Toot Your Own Horn, which is the butt trumpets. And then the third one I have to stitch. And I just finished designing it like last week, 2 weeks ago maybe, but I haven't had a chance to stitch it. And I'm using a 32 count Zweigart in kind of a natural linen, because I don't think that this is big enough for that. But anyway, that's a WIP, Nuns Harvesting Phalluses, and they're all DMC. I always try to use DMC. And then I have my June, yes, my June Patreon pattern is a mystical abracadabra. So abracadabra is actually it's not just like a magician word. It was a Roman talisman against malaria. So you write abracadabra out, removing a letter until it forms this triangle, and you can either remove the front of the word or the back of the word. And it's the actual pattern has other things around it that allude to Roman mysticism and magic and prognostication. But for now, I only have this abracadab. I still have two more, you know. And this is just on a 14 count metallic-y, sparkly, gold sparkly Aida that I got from, I don't know if you can even see. Oh, that's a little bit better. That I got from Michael's. Nothing special. Just out of the tube. I have no problem. I am not a fabric snob at all. I use what I can access. I live in a local needlework shop desert, so there's no one around me. So either I have to go to Michael's, Joann's, or Hobby Lobby, which I don't shop at, or I have to order online, and you can't kind of see the color, so I don't. And then I have in this bag, I think this is the last one in the bag. This is my February Patreon pattern, which is some hearts. And this is on, I think this is a Be Stitch Me, but I don't know what the color is. I think I got it in a box, and I'm pretty sure it's Be Stitch Me. And the thread is not DMC. It is Dyeing for Cross Stitch. It's not going to show you. And it's called Impatiens. There we go. And it's Dyeing for Cross Stitch. So those are what are in this very full bag. I just emptied a project bag, so it will, I might take something out of this. I don't know. There's a lot happening in this bag. A lot of it though is that when I have really bad eyes, and so I use a magnifying glass when I'm stitching in my stitchy spot. But I haven't figured out a good magnifying glass situation in like the wild. So I have a light, but I need something that I can stitch without magnification. And that means it has to be pretty big. So I kind of, and it depends on the light too where I am. So I just have like 15 projects in that bag. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have a crochet project. So I decided, I was doing granny squares, which I don't think I actually brought in. I didn't bring in my granny squares. I was making little granny squares to make a headband. Well, I gave up on that. I don't really wear headbands like that anymore. My hair is too short. Yeah, so I started making a granny square. Oh, here we go, good. A giant granny, well, it's not that giant yet, but I'm making a big granny square that will be a shirt. So I'll have a front that's a big granny square and a back that's a big granny square. And I need to start working on this again because it feels so nice. So I'm using bamboo. I'm using True Boo 100% rayon from bamboo, and it's really slinky and it has a nice drape. I don't think it'll be too heavy, although it might be heavy. But I bought a lot of this. I got this from Joann Fabrics, and I'm using two colors. I'm using a white and a light blue, and I like sort of a grayish blue. I just think that looking at it again, on camera, it looks really cute. That'll be a cute shirt. So the plan is to have like front and back, and then I want to have like a shoulder panel. And I bought mustard yellow. I'm pretty sure it's mustard yellow. I have to find it. Bought mustard yellow to stitch them together, to do a hem, to do a neckline, and I think to do a shoulder seams. Because I don't love a boat neck. I don't think I look good in a boat neck. But I do look good in like a square neck. So if I do a square neck with a shoulder seam, shoulder panel, that's the plan. I have another clothing item that's on my loom that I'm working on, where I'm kind of making a rough woven shoulder panel, and then I'm making a dress out of this sort of natural linen that I have, and I'll have a tie at the waist, and it'll be sort of like flowy and fun, and I'm gonna put pockets on, like patch pockets, also woven. It's gonna be cute. My hope is that I have that by my cousin's wedding at the end of September. My cousin is getting married on the 30th of September, and I would like to wear that dress. I think that'd be really, really cool. So I keep thinking about that. I haven't had time to start weaving on it. It's, I don't know, I have about this much, and I think I need about 10 inches. 10 inches long. I have about 4 inches, and then I have to do a second one. And they're not going to match, and that's fine. I want it to look homemade, and I want, not homemade, I want it to look handmade, not homemade. I want it to look handmade, so they're not going to match. They're going to be rough, and I'll show you that when it's done. I think that'll be really pretty. I think it'll be pretty. I have my HAED, my Heaven and Earth design. This is in a bag from Jody at Trixie Tricycle, who I haven't seen a video from her in a while, although I might have missed one. But I miss you, Jody. I don't think she watches my videos anymore, but I miss you, Jody. Miss seeing you. And my Heaven and Earth design is Lady and the Unicorn. I don't have a picture. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't, I'm not going to edit this. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'm doing okay. I haven't touched it in a very long time. It's big. It's a big mama. But I have hit the top and the bottom. So that's the bottom, that little corner there. And you can see I have a unicorn right here. The lady, this is the lady's dress right here. So we're getting there. And then I have a little monkey. Some rabbits and a dog. Some trees. So this has sort of like a big blue tent in the middle. I love it. I'll get back to it eventually when I have the mental capacity. This is stitched on a 20 count ivory Aida that I got thanks to a gift certificate from Carrie and Stitches. She had, I think it was her 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I won a gift certificate. And I bought this. It mostly paid for this because it's a full yard of fabric, and I'm stitching it 2/1 full cross. I like it thick. I like a thick coverage. And I'm doing all the Culver DMC obs. It's a HAED. You don't substitute the HAED, you know. So that's my HAED, my Heaven and Earth design. And then I have, this is my wedding piece that was supposed to be done at my last anniversary a year ago, and I didn't finish it. The main issue, well, let me show you first. So it is the River by Modern Folk Embroidery, which I don't have with me, obviously. It is in the house, and I forgot it. But it is, it's beautiful, and I am doing it on this Cyanotype printed fabric that I did myself. This lace was part of a gift from my cousins in Italy, and I used Cyanotype to print it on this fabric, and then I'm doing it in a gold silk, a gold spun silk from DeVere Yarns. Now, I love this piece. The reason why this is my wedding piece. And the reason why I chose this piece as my wedding piece is because I got the pattern in a box, in a stitchy box, not a stitchy box brand stitchy box, but a stitching box, and it made me cry. And so I knew that I wanted to do it as like a wedding piece. This is the floss. It's very shiny. Spun silk. It's not like the soft fluffy silk. It's like it's the first pass of silk as opposed to the second pass of silk. So I decided that this was going to be my wedding piece, my first anniversary wedding piece, sort of my wedding sampler. I was intending to get it done by my first anniversary. I'm using this spun silk because I had it from my wedding. I made my own wedding bouquet, and the centerpiece was an embroidered flower, right? So using that silk. But the problem is that when I'm anxious or stressed out, I eat the skin around my fingers. So my fingers are always rough. And if you've ever worked with silk, it doesn't work if you have rough hands. And so it's impossible. It's been impossible for me to work on it the past year because I started a new job as chair of my department. For those of you who don't know, I'm a history professor in Mississippi, and I became chair of the department last year. I'm in my second year of being chair. And it was really difficult, like really, really difficult my first year. I think this year will be better because I've done a whole sort of year of stuff, but it's still difficult. And so I've been eating my fingers a lot. And so they're really rough, and they just, the silk just catches on my fingers like nobody's business. So I haven't been working on it, and it makes me sad. Makes me sad. But I will. One day it'll get done. I only have one more WIP. I don't have that many WIPs, so I just need to work through them. Although I do have some new starts I have to do. But the final project, let me just make sure it's the final project. The final project is one that you know and love. It is my Cosmic Egg by Hildegard of Bingen. I actually have a picture of this one, what it's going to look like. It is a medieval, it's an image from a medieval manuscript. She was a 12th century nun in what is now Germany. And she had visions, and one of her visions was the universe. And so it's called the Cosmic Egg for obvious reasons. And I am stitching it again. Now, I have already stitched this. This is freehand embroidery, well, mixed media, because I paint and stuff too, and beading. But I did it, and I sold it to a friend of mine very cheaply so I'm friends with the couple. The husband friend bought it for the wife friend for her birthday. And so I'm doing a new one, and this is how far I've gotten. I ran out of paint, and that was kind of my problem. So I bought more watercolor to kind of fill that in, and I will hopefully get started on this again. And I keep it in my my matte bag, and so I have all my colors and stuff in there. But I have a lot left to do. So I would like to get back to this. And then I have two other things that I need to do. Well, I have a lot of things I need to do. Maybe we'll talk about plans. Let me put this away, and then we'll talk about plans. Close this up because it's just going to fly everywhere. All right, let's talk stitching plans. I have to model stitch something for Just Cross Stitch magazine, which is due at the end of, which is due in I think October. I have to model stitch my medieval marginalia, my next one. I have some more designing to do. I would like to finish I'd like to finish some of my WIPs. So I want to finish my Jester, and I would like to finish my Abracadabra, because my July Patreon pattern, which is still available, is an amazing blackwork witch. Not blackwork, because blackwork is monochrome. We'll call it a monochrome. It's an amazing monochrome witch. It's cross stitch. It is not blackwork. I lied. I misspoke. It is cross stitch, not blackwork. But it's an amazing witch, and I want to stitch her in October. So I need to get something off of my WIP list because I have too many. I don't even know how many it was. I wasn't counting. I need to get something off, and the closest thing is that, is the Jester. The Jester is the closest thing. Oh my goodness. I usually cut all this stuff out, all my waffling, as my British friends say. So yeah, I need to get those things done. I need to get my Jester done. I need to get my medieval marginalia done, which I have fabric for, so I'm just going to start on that. And then I need to design a couple more things. I need to design another pattern for the Columbus Arts Council. I need to design my second temperature pattern. And then I need to keep, oh, and I have a stitch along I want to do. So I'm doing a bestiary, a medieval bestiary stitch along starting in January. And I will keep you up to date on that. So I have to decide which animals I want to do. Yeah. So I have to decide what I want to do. And so they're going to be either 6 or 9 animals. And I'm going to have a sort of a whole information about the animal and like what it meant to medieval people. And it'll be, I think it'll be like released every 2 weeks. So it'll be a either 6-week or 9-week thing starting in January. It'll be my normal style of sort of like 1 to 3 colors. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I just have to, I have sort of 15 animals that I'm shuffling between that I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Yeah. Whew. Anyway, lots of things I want to do. Oh, and then I signed up for an Embroidery Guild of America class, which I've shown you the book before. And it's a mixed media textile thing. I haven't even started it. I haven't even looked through the book. Like, I was planning on doing so many things during the summer. I had like 7 days. Normally I have 2 months. I had 7 days. Needless to say, I got nothing done. Anyway, it's fine. It's all fine. Yeah, so let's talk. Well, let's talk Happy Mail first. Let me get it. And not knock over my camera. I'm still here. Sorry. Everything's falling. Okay, I'm back. Excuse me. So my friend Marianne sent me a box. And she said, and people always say, you don't have to keep it if you don't want to. But of course, they send the coolest stuff, so I'm probably going to keep almost all of it. But first of all, she sent me this amazing batik card. Isn't that great? Batiks are so good. Batiks are so good. So there's that. So thank you for that, first of all. And then, put that there. And then we have goodies. So she sent me flosses, a whole bag of flosses. A whole bag of flosses. So some, what is this? This looks like older flower thread. Oh, that's interesting. So it's not, it's almost like a pearl cotton, but very fine. Threadworks. Some satin. I love the DMC satin. Some satin. Some more threadworks. Some more satin. Oh yeah, and then metallics. So she sent blending filament. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a shiny green. Sulky 12 weight. A more kind of Christmassy green. And then some DMC diamant. Oh, sorry. A couple more sulkies. Get those out and show you. A couple more sulkies. And this adorable bag. And then some DMC diamants, which I use for weaving. Yeah, so I weave, when I do some weavings, I'll often throw in just a little sparkle. And DMC diamant's great for that. I don't love stitching with it, but it'll be perfect for weaving. So let's put all this back, or else it will never get put back in here. So that's part. And then she sent me some little notebooks, and also these notebooks, which you will have seen because I had them. I got this box, but this was the best box, and I love these notebooks. So having two more plus books and almost like William Morris prints, love it. Trackers, a stitch card, more DMC metallic. These were the mystery stitch cards, floss drops. Quirky Quaker cauldron, which is adorable, which I don't have any quirky Quakers. And then some fabric. So this is sort of off-white Aida. Same, I got two of those. And then this is the Charles Craft. Again, 14 count. Kind of a natural color. It doesn't say what color it is. But anyway, natural color. Off-white. Also kind of cream off-white. And they're all 14 count. And then blue 14 count. A black 14 count. And another cream 14 count. And then, and this is it. This is the last of it. But then, sorry about the crinkles. They're gonna be crinkles. But then I'm just gonna kind of show you inside the bag, if I can show you without dropping everything. Spools! She gave me spools. I love spools, wooden spools so much. So some of these have thread on them. Some of them don't have thread on them. I love them either way. I use both kinds. So thank you, Marianne, so much for this. I've already thanked you, and privately. I've already thanked you privately, but I want to thank you again. This is an amazing and thoughtful package. So thank you so much. It made my day. It came, I was having a rough time. I think it came in July, and I was just feeling really down. I've been feeling really down lately. So this was just such a delightful package to get. So let me put that down. And now I want to talk about, and this actually isn't that long. I'm only at like 38 minutes, so that's pretty good. I thought I was going to have way more to say. So now, although, yeah, now I have the stuff from my mom's house, and I have two videos filmed that I haven't edited. One is a video of my tiny vintage sewing machine collection that I've started, that I also started this summer when I was feeling kind of depressed. And another is an unboxing of some baskets and boxes that were in an old chest that my grandfather made. I now have the chest. So I have the chest, but when they were going through the chest to make sure that they got everything out of it that my grandmother would want, they found like her old sewing baskets and stuff. So I did an unboxing at my mother's request of those boxes, and that'll be a separate video. So this is, I think, my mom's stuff that I got from her house that she was getting rid of, with maybe some of my grandmother's stuff included. I don't remember anymore. My air conditioner just kicked off, so if it had been loud and I'm now talking really loud, I apologize. So first, this box is basically patterns. So I have this fabric, which is just a cotton, Waverly cotton. But it's nice and thick. It might be a canvas. What does it say? Sorry, I'm trying to read the thing. Regatta Stripe Collection, Waverly. I think it's a cotton. Anyway, it's just sort of a stripe but I figured it could be useful for, I don't know, any number of things. Household sewing, you know? And this is Wonder Under. I don't know if this is adhesive. No, I think that this is a interfacing, a light interfacing, non-woven interfacing. So I got a bunch of that. That looks like it gets ironed on. It looks like it's pre-glued, which is nice. So I got that. I got some cones for a serger. I got my mom's old serger. I have some Velcro. I have some sewing needles, you know, stuff like that. And then I have some patterns, some old patterns. I'm not going to go through them all. Many of them are bags. My mom has a lot of good bag patterns. I did like these pants. I also picked up sort of old costumes. Maybe I am going to show you. Sorry if you're not interested. But mostly, and vests. Mostly what I was interested was bags. Here we go. So like bags, to make bags. But there were other cool bags too. In particular, let's see if I can find it. No. Sorry, everybody, but this is where I am now. I think this was it. Well, I mean, that's a pretty cool bag. I like that red one, shoulder bag. But, oh, and lamps. Oh, yeah, there was a lamp pattern. A lampshade pattern. I love it. I love it very much. I love it very much. There was one that was this really cool, like, hip bag. What the hell? Tote bag. Oh, this one. I really like this bag. I thought that was cool. This one in particular. And I have cork fabric. And I think cork fabric would be awesome with that. Anyway, that was a lot of time to show you that bag. Some of them I don't ever plan on making. I just like the pattern for future decoupaging. I think patterns look really cool decoupaged. So I got those for a future project. And that's the box. I also got a bag. I would apologize for taking so long, but you can put me at double speed or you cannot watch and fast forward, so you're fine. I got a bunch of fabrics. So I have these white, just sort of white fabric, white cotton, and I thought would be good for like a toile or something if I want to make a, I want to start making clothing. I have lots of patterns for clothing that I want to make, and this would be good for that. I got some more of a sort of a thick canvasy cotton in a stripe. I have a lacy runner that I thought could be turned into something really pretty. It does need to be cleaned, but I thought it could be turned into something really pretty. And then I have a, sorry about the crinkles. It looks like a monk cloth. Sorry, you can't see. A monk cloth. Oh, here is the mustard for my shirt. So it looks like the rest of them are in here. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad I found them. And then I have all sorts of notions. I'm not going to show them all to you because a lot of it's just like, you know, zippers. Ugh. So my mom also gave me some candles that she didn't want because they smelled a lot. And I left them in this bag in the car in Mississippi in the summer. And so the candles melted and now everything smells like those candles. Anyway, this is a really cool elastic that could be fun for a skirt. I'm thinking like just a simple skirt would be nice. I also have a black elastic, which actually I have a skirt that I could put this on right now that I've stopped wearing because it doesn't work for me very well. What else is in here? I don't know, like notions, really giant, I guess this is for turning, loop turner, giant loop turner, some D-rings, Velcro, seam binding, you know, stuff like that. So I have a bunch of this stuff now, more of this stuff, because I already had a bunch of this stuff. So this will go in my stash. And yeah, that's the stuff that I got from my mom's house. This is surprisingly a short episode. I'm a little disappointed in myself, to be honest with you. Like, I felt like, I guess I just didn't want to bore everybody by just sort of talking about what I've been up to. And then I also bought some fabric, apparently. Whoops. Sorry, Harold. That are at the bottom here. I went to Joann's. Bought some cute fabrics. I'll show you. Bought rainbows. Black rainbows. Well, black fabric with a rainbow. I bought a cute batik. Like that. I just bought this is just a tobacco colored linen. This is not even weave. This is a clothing linen, not a cross stitch linen. And then I got some fabric fat quarters. No, 10 by 10s. So with butterflies. These are pretty. So I figured I could turn these into something fun. Looks like they're mostly butterflies and bugs and stuff. Got this on clearance at Joann too. And it looks like that's all I have to show you. 47 minutes, which for me is pretty long, but I feel like it should have been longer. It would have been longer if I had like had the pictures to show you, if I had talked about things more, but my voice still isn't great, so I'm kind of glad it's shorter. But I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed seeing me. It's been a while. I hope you liked looking at my projects. I decided to do a WIP braid because I couldn't remember what I'd worked on since last time I saw you. You know, I don't know. It's been 6 weeks and I don't keep notes and I don't use notes when I talk to you. So I wanted to, so I decided WIP parade was the way to go, but I don't have a ton of WIPs. So, you know, it's a short parade. But thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing my projects, and thank you, Marianne, for the wonderful goodie box, the happy mail box that you sent me. I really appreciate it. And thanks to my mom and Aura, my grandmother, for the stuff from their house. I do hope to have, like I said, a release video for my new temperature library, which has almost all new knickknacks, if you're a fan. And it also has 29 days in February. So keep in mind, those of you who've been doing my temperature patterns, who may be taking an older one and transferring it into 2024, that you either need to split if you're doing the bookshelves, you need to split a, what's it called? A book, one of the thick books, split it in two, right? So that's how you add one. If you are doing the temperature birds for 2024, add another bird in February, there's space. If you're doing the Space Invaders for 2024, add an explosion into one of the empty spots in February. And if you're doing a drink shelf, add another drink. And they're all in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below. So if you want to do a temperature pattern and you want to do one of mine, you can find them all down below. All the ones, well, so 2024, if it's specifically for 2024, it will have the extra already included. So the bookshelf has 29 days that I'm going to release this week. Just keep that in mind as you're going along with those bookcases, that it is a leap year this year. There's a leap day. Okay, so I think that's my public service announcement for that. Yeah, keep an eye out for my release for my temperature library. I will be releasing, hopefully, if it works out, a second temperature pattern in early October. If you're interested in any of my Patreon patterns, if you join now, you can get June, July, and August, and September, and a free one for signing up. So now is like the time if you want patterns, and if you want to learn about witchcraft and witches, now's the time to sign up, and you kind of get the most bang for your buck. And I'm about to release my August vlog. So much stuff. And you'll see a sneak peek of my next medieval marginalia. It's so good. I've been trying to be as active as possible over there just because it's so low editing. You know, I can just put it up and everyone's happy to hear from me. So that makes me feel good. And yeah, look for some really fun things releasing in December for January, because I have a stitch along, my bestiary stitch along, and then I have another series happening starting in January. And it's mental health related. Yeah. So I think that's it. That really is it from me. I think I've said that already. This is normally, I cut this end part so much because I just like talking to you all. And so I just kind of keep going and going and going. And I get to the editing room and I'm like, we need to make this much shorter. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. I'm going to try and get a video up every 2 weeks this semester. And I will hopefully edit one of the 2 other videos, the unboxing or the tiny sewing machine collection videos this week, and kind of get that up for next week. So I'll have a video every week for the next 4 weeks at least. And that's the plan. But I will hopefully have another Flosstube in 2 weeks. And I will maybe even do some stitching because I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm feeling like I want to do some stitching. See, I cut this out usually. Thank you for joining me. I am happy to talk to you and visit with you. I will see you in my next video. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.